sorry.
Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to seven, and the creator of what is going to be the number one most watched morning show in the world. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Please don't be mad at me. I know I'm like 3 minutes late, but I'm telling you, I was setting up. I wanted to make sure that this show was set up like beautifully, and I ran a couple minutes over it, and I'm like, dude, it's new. It's like Christmas Eve, right? It's Christmas Eve. Today is 12/24, December 24th. And then what day of the week is it? I believe it's a Monday. Monday, 12/24, December 2018. Look, I'm all over the place because today's show is absolute fire. That's why I'm all over the place. Today is December 24th, 2018. It is the first and last time it'll ever be 12/24, Monday, December 18th. So we want to make the absolute most of this incredible day. And I have a powerful show for you today that's going to do that. Now, hopefully, my numbers, I'm hoping that our live numbers this morning are a little bit less than normal. I know that sounds crazy, right? But I'm hoping that our live numbers are a little bit less than normal because I want people to maybe get a little bit of extra rest today if they need it. If you need it, get a little bit of extra rest today. I love it when Christmas falls on a Tuesday because I'm hoping that most people have today off. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that most people in the automotive industry have today off. I'm hoping that a lot of people, I know there's a lot of people in retail that won't have today off. It's a very busy shopping day. I understand that. A lot of restaurants won't have today off. I get that. But I'm just hoping a lot of people will have today off so they can spend some time with their families, man. That's what I'm hoping. Look, check it out. I love this group. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I stinking love you guys. I stinking love you. Somebody told me I got to get a shirt that says I stinking love you, and you're probably right because I do. I stinking love all of the members of this group. I love this holiday. I love this season. I'm so thankful for this time of year. I'm thankful for the way people pull together. And my experiences yesterday were beyond incredible. I had some experiences yesterday that were beyond incredible, and I want to share those experiences with you guys. I also want to share what we could learn from my experiences yesterday because I think we can all learn a lot. This is my new friend, Austin. Okay? Yesterday, I met Austin, and I know a lot of you saw the post that I shared. That's my son in the foreground, and that's my man Austin there in the background. Now, it was interesting. It was interesting the way that I met Austin. The way that I met Austin was really interesting because, see, we got out of church yesterday, right? And church was the Christmas service, right? They have their annual Christmas service, so the kids were with us in church, and it was interesting because, you know, we had the kids in there, and it's hard to kind of keep them wrangled. And right at the last minute, my wife had to leave with the baby. She had to leave with the baby right at the last minute, right when we went to light the candles and do that whole candle thing. And so she had to dip out. And then after that, I kind of had to help with, I had grandma's help. And so grandma was with me, and we had to get all the kids together and kind of move through this massive amount of people, right? There's a ton of people at the church, and we had to move. And I thought my wife had already gone to get the other kids, but she hadn't gone to get the other kids. So then we went and got the other kids, and then we got some cookies, and then we decided to just wait, which normally we kind of rush out with everybody else, but we decided to just kind of wait, and that we were going to let everybody kind of clear out. So we did that, and then we decided Joel and I were going to go get a haircut, and my wife and everybody else was going to go home. And so we did that, and it was raining. We had to pull the vehicle up and so on and so forth. And then Joel and I, we went to get a haircut. And we went to the first spot to get a haircut, and they didn't have any openings. We were standing there in the rain, but they couldn't get us in until 6 o'clock. I was like, because I really needed a haircut. My son really needed a haircut, but we couldn't get a haircut. So then we went from there, from not being able to get a haircut. I decided, hey, well, we're going to feed a family, and we found this family in Paris, Kentucky, that this woman that like feeds 13 kids locally. And so we're like, we need to go shop for our feed a family because we're taking hashtag Rise and Grind offline. and feeding a family, right? And so I'm like, all right, well, let's go to the Walmart. We'll do the shopping. That way we can do the feed a family. So we go into the Walmart parking lot, dude, and it's crazy. There's people like everywhere, right? And I mean, it's bumper to bumper. I'm trying to move through. I'm trying to find a parking spot. I can't find a parking spot. It's just nuts, man. I couldn't do it. And I started to get frustrated because I really wanted to get a haircut. Oh, and we had tried to go to another haircut place. But the second haircut place that we tried to go to, apparently they went out of business at some point. I don't even know when they went out of business. So here we were, couldn't get a haircut there, couldn't get a haircut there. Then we went to Walmart, and then Walmart, we couldn't get a parking spot, so we couldn't do the feed a family. And I'm like looking up like, hey, God, I'm trying to feed a family. Can you give me a parking spot? You know that frustration. You guys get there, right? Like, I'm trying to do something good here. I'm trying to do a good deed. Right? And at least you could do is give me a parking spot. But man, I couldn't find a parking spot, so I started to get frustrated with that. So I'm like, all right, check it out. We're just gonna go out to Paris, Kentucky, where it's not as crowded as Lexington, and we'll go to the Walmart there, and we'll do our feed a family. We'll get our stuff, and that'll be good. And so I'm like, all right, cool, let's do that. But first, we got to get McDonald's because I got to get the kids something to eat. We haven't had anything to eat yet. So then we pull into the McDonald's, and there's a line all the way around the place, and we hang out, we wait in line for like 10, 15 minutes, the line doesn't move. And then finally the line moves, and at this McDonald's, it's one of those McDonald's that has 2 lanes, right? 2 lanes that go around. And so it's got the 2 lanes, and so we finally start to move, and we open up, and it's like, oh, we can go into the 2 lanes now. So we get out of the line to go into the second lane, and there's a cone. There's just an orange cone blocking that second lane that you couldn't see until you reached a certain point. And now I'm out of line, and I got to go back, and I got to get back in line at the McDonald's to get some food. I'm like, forget that. I'm not getting back in line. Let's just go to Paris. There's a McDonald's in Paris. It's a smaller town. It won't be so busy. We'll just go there. So then I jump on Winchester Road, and I head down, and I'm going to get on the freeway that's going to take us to Paris Pike so that I can come back to Paris so we can go to McDonald's, so we can go to Walmart, so we can do our grocery shopping, so we can feed a family. And there's just this long, crazy, insane line to get on the freeway, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. Forget it. I'm done. I'm trying to do something nice here. It's not working out too good. I'm going to go home. I'll do it tomorrow. That was my mindset. I was just so frustrated. Right? You've been there. And so I'm going home, and as I'm going home, what happened next is absolutely incredible. But first, before we go into all that, you know what we got to do. Let's dance, my friends. What we got here this morning? Uh-oh. Can you guys hear that? I want to make sure. I'm going to turn that up. Look, I'm going to start that over. I'm going to clear the layer. I'm going to go to the volume properties. Oh. Maybe that's better. Okay, how about that? Cool. All right, here we go. Let's go. How's that? Can you guys hear that better? I love it. I love the holiday season. This is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button. Whether you're watching on replay or you're watching live, do me a favor. Please, please, please hit that share button. Because I believe if we could change the way people start their day, we can make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. This is also the part of the show where I need you to say good morning to me, and I'll say good morning to you. Whether you're watching live or watching replay, say good morning. What's up, AJ Anderson? Good morning, my friend. Tom DeLolio, how are you, sir? Joshua Wilson, good morning. What's up, Don Sankey? Christopher Campbell's up in here. Janelle Griego's up in here. Melvin Rodriguez, how are you this morning? Charles Baldwin, how are you, sir? Archie's in here this morning. I love it. Casey Rossiter. Hi, Casey Rossiter. We got, who else? Gail B. Crafts up in here. Anthony Santangelo, how are you? Sandra Benstock is also up in here. Kagan Sharp, how are you? Brian Edlin. Did I see my man Josh? Oh, beautiful. What's up, Leanne Ryan Smith? What's that, Maybe Bach? Mike Brockway's up in here. I love it, man. I love it. You guys ready? I am gassing up my sleigh, says Anthony Santangelo. Cool. All right, check it out. Dude, what happened next was absolutely incredible. So I come around. I decide to go down this back road I don't normally go down. There's traffic on the back road, too. Everything's slowing me down. Everything is slowing me down. And so we go down, and I get to where I need to turn to go to my house. And as I turn onto the road that's going to take me off the highway to my house, as I turn, I see this young man right here walking in the pouring rain. He's got a blanket full of stuff that he's got wrapped up. He's got knotted like 4 times. He's carrying it over his shoulder. He's wearing pajama pants. He's wearing University of Kentucky pajama pants. He's got some Payless shoes on. He's got a nice long coat, and he's got a scarf around his neck. And he's carrying this big blanket, nasty blanket full of clothes. And as I'm turning onto that road, he's crossing the street. I literally have to, wait for him to cross before I can go through the intersection all the way, right? And so I see him, and I'm like, man, it kind of hits me in the gut. Because I remember being this dude. I remember being in the streets. I remember being invisible. I remember walking in the rain. It rains a lot, actually, in San Diego. Little bouts of rain. Not long downpours, but little bouts of rain. And I just remember being the kid. And so I was like, man, maybe I need to give this guy a ride. And then I look in the back seat, and, of course, my son's in the back seat. And we're already late and behind on everything, And it's like, man, and so I start talking myself out of it instantly, and then I just pulled over. Instead of just driving and continuing to talk myself out of helping this guy, I just pulled over. And I pulled over, and I looked back at my son, and I said, Joel, we just passed a guy back there that's walking, looks like he's homeless. We're out here in the rain. He's carrying all this stuff. What do you think we should do? And my son, of course, being the pure, innocent, amazing human being that he is, my son said, we got to pick him up. We got to pick him up. So I picked him up. And I found out that my man Austin is 21 years old. He's been homeless for 3 years. The first 2 years he spent jumping from couch to couch. The last year he's been going from homeless shelter to homeless shelter. He's made some mistakes along the way. He's definitely made some mistakes along the way, and he's definitely continued to follow up those poor choices. But what I found out most about my man Austin is he's a dreamer, he's a visionary, he still has hope for the future, which I know a lot of people in his position don't. And that's what I found impressive, is the kid still has hope for the future. And so I took my man Austin, and I was going to take him. He was walking from one homeless shelter to the next. It's 15 miles between homeless shelters. And that's what he was doing because he couldn't get a bed at the one homeless shelter, so he was going to walk to the other one. And where I caught him, he was about halfway there. He had already walked about 7 miles, and he had another 7 miles to go. So I caught him at the halfway point. And so I picked him up, and I got to know Austin a little bit, and I just couldn't believe it, man. This kid's 21 years old out there in the streets, and it really hit home with me. And so as we were going to the homeless shelter that he wanted me to take him to, I started thinking, man, I can do more. I can help this kid on a different level. Like, imagine, because he was talking to me about how he couldn't get a job. He wanted to start over. He wanted a fresh start. He wanted an opportunity, but he couldn't get a job because it's tough, man. I know a lot of times we see homeless people and we think, well, they need to just go get a job and take care of themselves. I'm here to tell you, because I've been there, man. It's not that easy. It's not easy to get a job when you can't put an address on a resume or on an application. You have no address to put down. It's not easy to get a job when you don't have a phone for people to call you back at. It's not easy to get a job when you don't have a car to go to these places to apply for these jobs. And most importantly, it's not easy to get a job when you've been beat down mentally, which living on the streets will do. You've been beat down mentally for years, and you think that you have no value. You think that you're worthless. What is the number one people tell you when you're going to walk into an interview? They tell you to walk in with confidence, right? To own the position, to know that you've already got the job before you've got it. Well, when you don't have that confidence, when you're afraid to make eye contact because normally people find you invisible, when normally people look down at you or they think less of you, when you're in that position, it's hard. It's hard to walk into some place when you haven't had a shower. It's hard to walk into some place when you slept on a cardboard box last night. It's hard to walk in there when you're in that position and walk in with your head held high and apply for a position. It's hard. And that's what Austin expressed to me, that he had a hard time. He wanted a fresh start. He wanted a job, but nobody would really give him one. And so I got to thinking, man, we can do more. I can do more for this young man. Instead of just dropping him off at the homeless shelter so he can continue this vicious cycle that he's been in for a long time, I'm going to put him up in a hotel room. I'm going to put him up in a hotel room where he can take a shower, where he can sleep in a bed, where he can watch some TV, where he can feel like a real deal human being for a change. That's what we're going to do. So we were about to pull into the homeless shelter, and I thought, no, I'm going to back out of here, and I'm going to take this kid to a hotel. And so as we were going to the hotel, I told him, I said, bro, I'm going to put you up in a hotel. He was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, I'm not kidding you. I'm going to put you up in a hotel for a few nights. And as we were going there, he hesitated. And I was like, Austin, why are you hesitating? What's up, bro? And he's like, well, you know, I want to stay in a hotel, and that's nice. He's like, but I don't have any money for food. And he reminded me that one of the things that the homeless shelter would do that the hotel wouldn't do is the homeless shelter would feed him too. So then I thought, oh, yeah, man, I can't just put him up in a hotel for 4 days with no food. We got to get him some food. So we decided to go back to that Walmart that earlier was crazy and I couldn't find a parking spot. And we went back into that Walmart and pulled right in and got a parking spot about 10 spots from the door, wide open. And we walked into Walmart. And as we were walking into Walmart, Austin was like hesitant. I said, why are you hesitating? He said, they're going to look at me funny when we go in here. I said, bro, they ain't going to look at you funny. You're with me. You're with Glenn Lundy. They ain't going to look at you funny. You come on. And so we went into the spot, and I recognized some people, said hi to some people, and everybody smiled. I smiled at them. We walked in like we owned the joint, right? Because that's what we do. And everybody saw this kid. He went from being invisible to visible, and people said hi to him, and they smiled at him, and they nodded at him, and they respected him. And we demanded that. I demanded that. And so we went into the Walmart. And we shopped, and this kid, I'm telling you, he's so humble. He didn't want to grab anything off the shelf. He didn't want to take anything. I'm like, bro, come on, it's a free-for-all, anything that you want. And he was like so hesitant. I literally had to like force him to put stuff in the bag. And at one point, he got a bag of beef jerky. He put it in the bag, and I remember watching his eyes looking at this bag of beef jerky. And as we continued to shop, about halfway through, he was like, do you mind if I open this bag of beef jerky? I said, no, Austin, open it up, dude. And I've never seen anybody take down a bag of beef jerky so fast in my entire life. This kid was starving, man. The kid was starving. 21 years old. 21 years old. So we went through the line and we got all our groceries and we got back in the car. We took him to the hotel and we checked him into the hotel. We helped him carry my son's carrying all these grocery bags up into the hotel with Austin. We did all that. And I had taken a picture while we were at the grocery store because I thought it was stinking cool to see my son and this dude, Austin, here he is like a real deal human being. He said he hadn't even been in a Walmart in years. He couldn't remember the last time he'd actually grocery shopped. It was nuts. So I posted that picture. And you guys in the Rise and Grind group, you guys went nuts, man. You guys went nuts. And I absolutely love the Christmas miracle that you guys created yesterday. First thing that happened, well, I posted it, and I didn't post anything asking for money. Okay, I didn't post anything asking for money. I just posted, hey, here was my story. I want to share it with you. And the reason I wanted to share it with everybody is I wanted to try to find get Austin a job. I wanted to get Austin a job. And that's why I thought, okay, I'm going to share this post out there and let Facebook go nuts. And let's find this kid a job because there's people with compassion in their heart. And it's a holiday season. There's people that will love on this kid and offer him a job. So I posted it, and all of a sudden money started coming in. And people started saying they wanted to donate clothes and all kinds of other things. And people started praying for my man Austin. And my phone just kept dinging and dinging and blowing up. And all of a sudden, I get a picture from my man Owen. This is my man Owen right here. Okay, Owen is in the car business. He worked for one of my competitors when I was at Dan Cummins. And this is my man Owen standing with Austin at the hotel room because he went and bought him a phone. He went and bought him a phone. Can you believe it? And not only did he go buy him a phone, but he delivered it to him. He went and knocked on the kid's door and delivered him a phone. And he spent half an hour with Austin in the hotel room. And Owen told me when he left I said, so did you tell him that a bunch of people on Facebook are pulling together and trying to help him? And Owen was like, yeah, I spent 30 minutes with the guy, and I told him, man. Owen said, I told the kid that he ran into the right guy when he ran into Glenn Lundy today. That's what he told him. He told him he ran into the right guy when he ran into me. And he's right. Owen's right. Austin did run into the right guy when he ran into me, but that's not by coincidence. It is not by coincidence that God slowed me down yesterday. It is not by coincidence that we stayed a little bit later at church yesterday. It is not by coincidence that my son and I couldn't find a place to get a haircut yesterday. It is not by coincidence that I couldn't get a parking spot at Walmart yesterday and I couldn't go in. It is not by coincidence that I couldn't get into the McDonald's. It is not by coincidence that every step of the way I was delayed, every single step of the way, until I was forced. I was literally forced down a path that as I turned, I had to wait for Austin to cross right in front of my path, right in front of my car. 30 seconds later, Austin would have already been down the street. 30 seconds sooner, I wouldn't have seen Austin because he wouldn't have been at the intersection yet. I would have drove right by. But no, God in his perfect precision timing forced me down a path to make sure that I ran into Austin, to make sure that I could be reminded in the middle of my first world problems, because I was complaining about not being able to get a haircut, complaining about not being able to get a parking spot because of my in the middle of my first world frustrations. God reminded me of who I was, who I used to be, where I came from. He humbled me on the spot, and then he compelled me to do something about it. Owen was 100% right. When Owen handed this kid a phone and said, bro, you ran into the right guy when you ran into Glenn stinking Lundy. So Owen gave him a phone. And you guys kept sending me money. You crazy people. You guys kept sending me money. And you guys sent me $1,435 yesterday. You guys sent me $1,435 for Austin yesterday. What the heck is wrong with you? Crazy, crazy people. And then, most importantly, my man Steve Early, who owns Lucky's Auto Sports on New Circle. You guys connected me with Steve, and Steve and I had a conversation last night. And this morning, in just a few hours, I'm going to go pick Austin up. I'm going to go pick Austin up from his hotel, and I'm going to tell him that you guys raised all this money for him, and him and I are going to strategize on what the best use of that money is. I'm going to work with him, and we're going to figure out, what clothes he might need, which some other people are donating clothes to, but we're going to figure out what he needs, and we're going to figure out where he can stay. I mean, $1,435, we can rent him a place. We can rent him a place. I'll sign for it. If they won't accept his signature, I don't know what his credit's like, but I'll sign for it. But we'll get him a place, and he can rent it, and we can pay the deposit, and we can get him at least, a place, and we can get him some furniture, and we can just love on this dude. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to pick him up this morning, and we're going to decide what the best way to utilize that money is. I'm not just going to hand the kid, that's dealing with recovery, and that's just now, I'm not just going to hand him a bunch of cash. I don't think that's best. Instead, I'm going to invest in him, and I think we as a group can continue to invest in him. Somebody bought him a planner yesterday. Somebody bought him a #Rise and Grind planner yesterday, so I'm going to give him that and let him know that we're going to plan him out for 2019, and we're going to put him up in a place. We're going to make sure he has clothes, and thanks to Steve at Lucky's, he's got a job, dude. He's got a job. He starts at 9 o'clock this morning. So I'm going to go pick him up. We're going to strategize what's best to do with his money. I'm going to make sure that he's got clean clothes. I'm going to drive him to work this morning, and we're going to drop him off at Lucky's, where he's going to be surrounded by love. He's going to be accepted. He's going to be treated like a real deal human being, and he's going to get to work today, and hopefully that job works out for him. If that job doesn't work out for him, you guys have he's gotten like 6 or 7 job offers since we made the post yesterday. It's incredible. It's a Christmas miracle. It really is. And I was talking to my kids about it last night, and my daughter Savannah was like, so you guys, are we inviting them over for Christmas dinner or what? These kids, I love it. Are we inviting them over for Christmas dinner or what? I'm like, yeah, we're inviting them over for Christmas dinner. Of course we are. Of course we are. We're going to invite them over for Christmas dinner, and we're going to shower them with gifts. We're going to shower him with gifts. He's going to get a gift from every Lundy. When you get a gift from every Lundy, that's a lot of gifts, because we got a lot of Lundys. But we're going to bring him in, and we're going to wrap him up, and we're going to love him, and we're going to shower him with gifts. You know why? Because that's what Christmas is all about. That's what Christmas is all about. Christmas is a celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. His birth, him coming into this world, even though he was a baby. He couldn't do anything at the time for anybody, but yet they showered him with gifts. And that's why in this holiday season, we shower each other with gifts. And we love on the less fortunate. We love on the least of these, as it says in the Bible. We love on them. We're called to love on them and shower them with gifts. That's what my family's going to do with Austin. And when I say my family, I'm not talking about the Lundys in this house. I'm talking about the Rise and Grind family that we've created, this amazing community that we've created. We're going to shower Austin with gifts. Listen, I understand we can't help everybody all of the time. I understand that, but you know what? We can help this kid. We can help this kid this time. Together, we can do it. We could change this kid's life forever. And he's only 21, man. He's only 21. And when I called him yesterday, or when he called me yesterday from his new phone that he got from Owen, and he called me yesterday, and you could hear it in his voice, and he told me a couple things. He was excited about tomorrow. He was afraid he was going to sleep in, so he wanted me to make sure to wake him up. Dude, I get it. You haven't slept in a hotel room or a comfortable bed. You've been in homeless shelters for a year. I guarantee you that kid's in a coma right now. I guarantee you he's sleeping so good right now. I'm going to have to wake him up. No, there ain't an alarm clock in the world that's going to wake this kid up. I'm going to have to wake him up. He told me that. He also told me something special. He told me that before Owen had showed up with a phone for Mr. Austin, Austin told me that he had been laying on the floor with his face down, praying and just thanking God for that hotel room, and thanking God that he had ran into Glenn Lundy. He was thanking God. And that, to me, that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. We can't help everybody. We can't. But we can help this kid. We can help this kid. And who knows? Who knows where he's going to go? Who knows what'll happen? Who knows? You know? Who knows when you take God, you insert God, and you insert people, and you insert community, and you insert love, and all of that? Who knows? Who knows where it'll go? And I hope we change this kid's life. That's what I hope. That's my goal. And I hope that he goes forward to impact and change the lives of other people along the way. Because he's just a kid. No matter what mistakes he's made, he's just a kid. But now he's a rise and grind kid. And as a rise and grind kid, everything changes. Once you become a rise and grind kid, it's over. Because you people are insane. $1,400 raised for this kid I wasn't even asking you for money. And you guys gave him $1,400. If you want to donate more, just go through PayPal. riseandgrindgear@gmail.com is the email address. You can send more. But there is no more incredible group than hashtag Rise and Grind. I want to tell you guys that there's no more incredible group, because you, each and every single one of you, you're this amazing human being, right? Uniquely made by the God of the universe to be the absolute best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And we're all working on this together in community. It's crazy. Rise, evolve, impact together. It's insane. I'm watching what you guys are doing in your individual lives, and you're making good decisions already, right? Like, not just being a part of the group, not just watching the show, but all of your posts, your encouragement, doing things like this to help out my man Austin. All of these powerful decisions that you guys are making, they matter. They're making an impact on your friends. It's making an impact on your family members. It's making an impact on me. And I, for one, I absolutely love you for it. I do. If nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. I do. Thank you so very much for being a part of my life. It means the world to me. You've changed my life forever. Thank you so very, 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 very much. I want you to have a Merry Christmas tomorrow. Shower your loved ones with gifts. Spend time with the least of these, the less fortunate. Do what you can. Do what you can to help. It might be prayers. It might be donations. It might be time. You might be like my man Owen. You might need to run over and hand somebody a phone. Golly, just imagine. Imagine Austin's day yesterday. He was 7 miles into a 15-mile walk from one homeless shelter where he didn't have a bed to another homeless shelter where he didn't know if he would have a bed. It's pouring down rain. He's carrying probably 80 pounds in gear, which is everything he owns. Imagine he crosses the street. Just imagine being Austin for just a minute. And you're crossing the street, carrying this burden, carrying this weight, not knowing what the future holds. And all of a sudden, somebody offers you a ride. And that ride becomes a conversation about love and about God. And that ride ends up taking you to a grocery store where you shop for the first time in years, which gets you a bag of jerky that you take down as fast as you can because you're starving. That then leads you to a hotel room where some other guy shows up knocking on your door. He hands you a phone. The next thing you know, you get a phone call on your phone telling you that you have a job, and that this dude's going to come pick you up and take you to work, and he's going to but he's got $1,500 for you, and there's a whole group, a whole community of people, and he gives you a planner to plan out 2019. What do you think is going through that kid's head? Imagine the emotional roller coaster that we've created. I love it. I can't wait for him to join us and him to join my family tomorrow at dinner. I'll go live with him or something. We'll do something because I want to share him with all of you guys. I want us all to get to know him better, and we're going to help him rise, impact, and evolve all together in 2019. Please have an incredible holiday. Just have an incredible, over-the-top, amazing holiday. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to spend time with my family for Christmas. I won't be here tomorrow, but I love you guys. So, listen to some Christmas music on my way out. Have an incredible day today. Have an over-the-top, phenomenal, absolutely spectacular day today. And I'll see you guys in 2 days on hashtag Rise and Grind. If you need more videos, go to GlennLundy.com. If you need to order a planner, go to GlennLundy.com. If you need some Rise and Grind gear, go to GlennLundy.com. But most importantly, come back. Come back on Wednesday. We'll do this all over again, December 26th. Hashtag Rise and Grind. Love you guys. You guys are awesome.